I want to talk about obviously, I want to go back a little bit, if you don't mind,
No.
and like what country do you come from originally?
Originally, I come, and it was still the times behind the Iron Curtain from Poland.
Yeah.
And I came here when I actually married an Italian guy, my late husband, who basically was living in London. So we settled here. That's why I always have this accent because basically I'm Polish, but my husband was Italian. We were always speaking Italian at home.
Okay.
So therefore, when I speak English, it's got this funny accent. And actually, I'm told by people listening to my song, "Oh, she's got that accent." Hell yeah! What am I to do about it? Yes, yeah. But so yes, I come from Poland.
Yeah.
But I've been here. I mean, that's my home now here, London,
Okay.
for many years now.
Yeah. And that Poland, obviously your country back home, for the people, because sometimes on the Red Chair, we like to maybe educate some people in terms of where we come from, our cultures. Like for people, like how is like where you come from in Poland, the area where you come from, how are the people, how is the culture, how is the vibe?
Well, the part I come from, Opole, town Opole, it's in Silesia. That part of Poland belonged to Germany before the war.
Okay.
So there is quite a lot of German influence now there. There are people who are always speaking German at home, even when I was little. But yes, so that's the area of Poland I come from. As usual in history, people and nations and borders moved about.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a great town, lovely. It's a kind of county town, not far from Wrocław, which is a fantastic town. And I would recommend anyone really. It's called Venice of Poland. So many bridges
Yeah.
in Wrocław. Yes, over 100 bridges. So they
Over
say.
100 bridges.
Yes, in town. So in the area.
Yeah.
So yes, I kind of. Though I must admit, these days when I go to Poland, I do feel like tourist more than.
Do you?
Oh yes, definitely, because life went its own way.
Yeah.
And I was forever only visiting every few years for Christmas or so when my parents were alive. And now I haven't been for a good few years. So all in all my life, all my adult life actually developed in Britain. So I do feel I've got all my family there in Poland, but I do feel a bit like a tourist there when
Okay.
I go.
I mean, to be fair, this could happen, like you said, if you go to another country for a very long time.
Yes,
and you
exactly.
get to live there. You get to to be part of the culture. Sometimes when you go back to your own country, sometimes I used to feel like that when because I came to this country when I was 9 years old. So growing up in the UK, adopting the culture, like the everything. When I go back home, yeah. Especially like you said, if you don't go back home too often,
Yes.
after a while when you go back, you do feel
Yeah, the things
little
changed, the
bit of a
institutions
tourist.
changed. Obviously, the government in Poland changed very much. And the whole life just took its own way there, and I wasn't part of it. I only started to listen to some great Polish music, which was in the years when I wasn't there. People like, I was still little, people, there's like great blues, like Jam, band called Jam, which I said, wow, and I had no idea until a few years ago. I had no idea about them really, because you just live life here, and in order to taste everything, you really need to live in that country.
Yeah.
If you don't, things just kind of life went its own way there, and my life went another way here. So.
Where my country, we like to have a good time. We like to
Oh, yes.
party.
Well.
We like to, we like to have a good drink. It's part of our culture, yeah? Me living in the UK, obviously I don't see every Polish person. I just see certain Polish people. And obviously sometimes, I've had some good times with some Polish people as well, having party, having a good drink. Is that part of your culture as well, or it's just some people from your country?
It's definitely it's a part of the culture, especially you see when I was growing up, you didn't have things like pub and bars in Poland, places for young people to congregate. What we were doing, we were basically meeting at other friends' houses. So that's why we have this thing of meeting your friends at their houses this
Yeah.
week here, next week at my flat, and mom would be coming with sandwiches or whatever,
Yeah.
or a cake, and while we hear someone brought, say, Led Zeppelin record from abroad, and we would all listen, and so yes, that's how it was. And as I say, every time I go now, I kind of feel like a tourist, because whenever I go, that's all I have, good time. I see my friends, I see my family. I've got a great family in Poland. So whenever I go, this and that uncle and here, my cousins, come wherever I go. There's this food, there's drink, there's this, you're like received very well. But then of course you have to go back.
You have to go back,
back to reality. But yes, that's why it's part of what I'm saying. I feel like a tourist, because I don't live there. And when I come, it's a great thing for me, and kind of great thing for them to see me as well.
Yeah.
And I'm having a great time, so yes,
Yeah.
not having to do much anything,
Like, we've just started speaking now, and I proper like your spirit. I proper feel your energy. I like your energy, yeah. Because one of the things that you said at the beginning is, it's never too late, for you to begin something, and
No.
this journey you've just begun not long ago. And I just want maybe somebody who might be watching this conversation one day, to get inspired, because we like to try to inspire people through some of the conversations we have, right? And what do you think, obviously sometimes you have a lot of grown men, a lot of grown women, for whatever reason, stop their dreams because of maybe family or circumstances.
Yes, exactly.
Like, what I want to ask you is, like, what made you, for you personally, what made you say, you know what, I don't care about my age, I don't care about what's happened before, I'm going to still pursue my music
Well,
career.
for me,
Yeah, for you.
definitely, it was a kind of major change of my life. I.e., when my husband died a few years back, I kind of started, right, what am I going to do, and a lot of my time in a few years before that was spent on caring for him and things like that. But I mean, putting that aside, so when he died, I was just wondering what am I gonna do with myself. So I enrolled and learn German, meet new people, and and started. Yeah, actually, and I enrolled for at City Lit for blues singing classes. Yeah, and I just thought, oh yeah, let's have a look. That sounds interesting. I love blues. So I went to those, and then you had to obviously sing among your peers and stuff. I thought, yeah, I don't sound half bad, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love singing. So yeah, then I went to a friend of mine from those courses. Said, oh, they do those open mics. Why don't you go and try it out? I said, yeah, okay, and I gathered my courage and I went. That was maybe 2.5 years ago or so. And yes, and the first song I sang was Gary Moore's Midnight Blues. And that's why it features on my first CD. I had to kind of honor it in a way. And it is on my first CD, Gary Moore's Midnight Blues. So that's really how it happened. You just have to have some drive. And I thought, yeah, I need to do something. If I don't do it now is the time. Just finally to do anything. But I mean, that message, for me, it was big change in my personal life. That kind of that lit this back in me. But it can work another way. You might think, "Oh, I'm too young. I need to do that." So don't ever shut your dreams for good or throw them away. No, keep them maybe just aside for a moment, but let them simmer all the time. So when I started singing, there's suddenly one song, this song, this song, this tune, that tune, because it was always simmering somewhere. It just waited for a good moment. But also don't wait too long for that good moment. Just basically you feel, yeah, I want to do it. Just go and do it.
Yeah.
Go and do it.
Yeah, because like we said, man, we see so many different people, maybe start to do something and obviously life, different circumstances happen and these
Yes.
people stop. And that's why sometimes I feel like you said, we should do whatever we can, even when you're whatever age you are, you should do. Obviously, sometimes things are difficult.
Definitely. Life's
but
too short,
yeah, man.
to think about it that way.
Yeah,
You never know.
absolutely. Absolutely. Would you say you're spiritual or religious? Which side do you identify
Well,
yourself with more?
Definitely not religious at the moment, although I was, because as you know, as I mentioned, I was born in, actually my early childhood was in Poland.
Yes.
So it is a Catholic country, and very much so now. And yes,
I didn't know that.
my mom was very religious, and my family still there is quite religious.
Okay.
I had my first communion, but that was it, basically. No, I can't say. Yeah, I'm possibly spiritual, definitely.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not into any religion at the moment. But I do have a deep regard to any religion, and definitely, Roman Catholic religion, for all its fault throughout history, every religion had it. It still influenced the way that Poland grew and became the country, and it's still a cohesive force in Polish society. Although you do have a lot of atheists these days, it's a free world. But yeah, so I'm definitely not religious at this point. But spiritual, yes, I believe in good, and I believe you don't have to be religious to be good. In goodness of other human being, and trying to be the best you can, and while doing that, not harming anyone else. Yeah.
And when I go through my life, obviously I'm still slowly getting a bit older and all of these things. I always try to ask myself and other people, this question, of fulfillment, whatever it means to each person, that's whatever it means to them. Would you say, after, you going through, obviously you're still going through, your journey, you're still going through your life, but at the moment, would you say you feel fulfilled within your life, or you're still looking for different ways to fulfill you, to make you feel fulfilled?
I think the thing is, you should never stop looking.
Yeah.
But yes, I do fulfilled. Perhaps things not always happen how I wanted, but whatever way I happened, I tried to find positive things in it and take something out of it. My previous life was in finance. I went quite high in that function. And it allowed me to live a pretty good life.
That's good.
And have time for my passion now. So I feel fulfilled, yes. But the reason for it is that actually whatever I was doing, whether at work or whatever I touch my hands into, or cooking a meal, I wanted to give the best out of me.
Yes.
So once you do that, you will feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
And obviously right now, yes, I'd love a bit more fame, maybe not even that, a bit more recognition
for your music.
But at the end of the day, the biggest buzz is in creating. And when the ready song comes to me and I put the headphones on, a glass of wine, and listen for the first time, and then it's suddenly this, wow, yes, Yes, I did that. Obviously, not alone, because there's guitars, there's other instruments.
Teamwork.
But you say, yes, I wrote this song. Hell, it sounds good. Well, in my opinion, So that buzz you get from creating it. Whenever I go to studio to create, to record a new song, in the morning I've got this buzz. Yes, how it's gonna be today. Yes, this and that. I'm gonna record it this way or that way. That's this buzz. And when we finish in the day, I kind of think, yes, that was a good day. Yeah, that should be a good song. And then finally, after time, when it comes ready, it's just enormous. That's the greatest buzz, that what you've created, at least you think, yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
That's the greatest buzz of creating something good. And when a few other people seem to like it, well, that's really, what could you ask for more,
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for more, really.
Yeah, because I feel like, I'm sure you might agree, a lot of people, different countries, different cultures, I think a lot of people go through life, trying to either look for their purpose or to try to be fulfilled by something, right? That's what I asked, because I feel like, it doesn't matter what sex you are, man, woman, what country you come from. This is a human thing, fulfillment. And sometimes some people might call it finding your purpose, looking for your purpose, why you're on this planet. And that's why I thought I'd ask you, because I feel like, once again, feeling your spirit, I feel like, like you are at this point where, like you said, like you're pursuing your music, it's never too late, and you're going through this new interesting journey, which is very interesting, to obviously to share with me and other people. And even talking about quickly going back to your country as well, how in terms of like blue rock, how is it popular, or how is it in your country?
It is. It's actually blues. We had the tradition going back to the 60s, which then I had no idea.
I love learning
I only
new
discovered
things.
a few years back that we have such a great blues scene in Poland. And now I'm in a few clubs or groups on Facebook and getting in touch with Polish blues musicians. And I listen to their stuff, said, hell, they're great. They're great. So, yes, maybe next time I'm in Wrocław, and people, they know who I'm talking about. Maybe we'll jump together in that Liverpool club. Yes.
That sounds amazing. That just sounds good, because once again, like, some of us... some of us obviously, in London, who might maybe have never been obviously to Poland before. Some of us, like I said to you, this question was genuine. I don't know if blue was popular back in the country.
Yes, it is. I had no idea, but actually
amazing.
I think it is quite popular. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. And talking about one of the main things that some people, music artists, people that I speak to on here, one of the main things that sometimes we talk about is the business, of the other side of creating your music, the business.
That's like the hardest and toughest, yes.
Yeah, how, like in your journey, once again, still very early in your journey, at the moment, how are you finding the business side of, whatever you're trying to make?
Well, let's just say I'm quite glad that I worked in finance and was able to have some savings and make some investments and all that. Because, I'm financing all myself.
Yes.
So for any starting artist, well, I am starting, but say I had a chance to have some finance and actually of my own, probably a bit easier at this point than anyone 18-year-old starting in it. They won't have that. So that's why people aim to be signed on by labels and stuff. It's all great, but obviously once you get signed, then you might have to compromise the way you sing and what you sing and etc.
And how you look and all of that.
How you look and all that. Suddenly how you look is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
So there is definitely good things to say about being independent.
That's good.
But then again, on the financial side, it can be tough for people who just start.
It's true.
In this business,
It's true.
Definitely.
And also you've mentioned finance a few times. Yeah. So was that like your job that you did for many years before. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's
it's
talk about it.
actually-
How did
yes,
you
it
get?
was. When I
Yeah. How
came
did,
to this country, as I say, I married my Italian husband.
yeah.
What I was studying in Poland then was English literature, medieval literature. What you gonna do with it in life? Not much. And you obviously can't teach English to the English.